Some protective hairstyles aren't always as protective, especially the ones with added hair. Hey loves, my name is Latoya Ebony. Take a look around, subscribe if you like natural hair care. Now, most of us know the risks involved with protective hairstyles and the extra tension that it can have on your hair. Insulation is very important, but today I want to focus on something that I dare say is just as important, taking them out.
The goal today is to cause the least amount of breakage as possible, so let's get started. What you'll need: satin or silk robe. This allows the hair to roll off of your shoulders. Water and a water bottle mister. A watery leave-in. An oil, preferably less viscous. A wide tooth comb to help you detangle your hair. A metal tail comb to help with small knots. Alligator clips to keep your hair in place, a mirror so you can see what you're doing, entertainment, and your fingers. I have taken out my twists, and listen, my edges are still intact and we are off to a great start. I think that it's important for you to fully assess your hair and figure out, exactly where you're at, if there's any knots, any tangles, and I'm going to show you 3 options for getting those tangles and knots out. Option number 3, water, agua, H2O. It's so simple, and you want to use a misting spray bottle. You don't want to add too much water to your hair because your hair is in its most vulnerable and fragile state when it is wet. So you don't want to soak your hair with water while there's still knots and tangles. So what I like to do is take the water, the misting bottle, and just do a light spray on the hair and detangle with a wide tooth comb. Option number 2, oil and water. Now we're getting down to the nitty-gritty, okay? This is a lock that has started to form. I like using oil and a little bit of water. The water is specifically for the malleability of the hair. It gives it a little bit of softness, but the oil, what it does is it adds some malleability to the hair while still maintaining the strength. So I like using an oil, one that is looser, not so thick and viscous, something like a jojoba oil or even an olive oil would be fine for this. And use your fingers to gently separate the knots as much as you can. You want to do as much finger detangling as possible before you go in with a comb. I like using the wide tooth comb, starting from the ends and working my way up. And I just do a combination. I go back and forth. You really want to be gentle with this process, and you can play with the amount of oil and water ratio. This process may take some time, which is why you need that entertainment. I have my iPad, and this is the time that I give to myself, peace and quiet. Option number 1, a watery leave-in conditioner. Now, I don't typically use leave-in conditioners for any other kind of hairstyle except for protective hairstyles because it's so thin, it evaporates very quickly from my hair and I need to hang on to as much moisture as possible. But it is excellent at getting out knots, but you want to be careful not to over apply. It does provide a nice slip to the hair. However, sometimes it can make it difficult to get the knots out if it's too slippery, and you don't, of course, want to make your hair too wet because it is very fragile. Now let's get into those tough knots in the fine hair. I like using oil. Only oil, maybe a little bit of water, but the key here is to hold on to as much strength as possible. My hair is incredibly fine around my hairline, and this hair is right behind my ears, and so I had a lock that was forming and it was very fine, so the tail comb really helps to get that knot out. And then of course you can go in with your wide tooth comb and detangle the hair when it's safe to do so. As always, you want to use your fingers to figure out what you need and be gentle. And now for my favorite product combination. I use all 3 products. So I start with the oil at the base, kind of where the knots are. If it's a lock forming, that's where I use it. The oil allows for malleability of the hair, but it still keeps the strength. A little bit of that leave-in conditioner on the ends of the hair. I take the wide tooth comb and detangle as much as I can until I get to the root where I really need to use my fingers and separate that knot out. This product combination is amazing. Of course, you didn't see me add any water. With the leave-in conditioner, you know, if you apply just the right amount, you actually don't need water because the base is basically water. So really, it's two products. The wide tooth comb on the ends. Of course, if you need to use that tail comb, you can, but I didn't for this section. And I'm done. Protective hairstyles are incredible. They are a huge part of my culture, a huge part of my childhood, now into adulthood. They offer the opportunity for creativity, versatility, and beauty. As long as we are careful on the installation and the takedown process, you can enjoy protective styles and still reach your length goals. I think I'm almost at mine. I'm so excited. We'll have to find out on my next flat iron routine if I've reached my goals. Of course, after a trim, because, you know, I just want to make sure that my hair is healthy first. Since my hair has become a lot longer, I find it helpful to wash my hair in sections. So I use a combination of the water and the clips. I separate my hair into 4 sections so that I can have a good wash day, a successful wash day. And this is how I take out my knots.
If you enjoyed today's video, take a look around, subscribe. If you like what I'm wearing, I will link it down below.
If you like fashion, beauty, lifestyle, and vlogs, I have a second channel, Latoya Ebony, that you can check out. I'll link it down below.
That being said, I will see you next Thursday. Mwah.